Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to an exciting week of Olympus Rises, where I, your host, Jordan, aka Mankey Games, and take you on a wonderful journey through the stars with the help of my wonderful crew, of which we are one short until Will decides to wake up. Announcements. Those of you on Twitch, you've already heard this because we had a really fucked up, just like a bad intro. It's fine. Whatever. For those of you on YouTube, hi, welcome. Glad you could be here. This session will be the final session in Arc 1 of Olympus Rises. Now, I know what you're saying. Oh no, is it going away? No, of course not. There's no way Matt would ever let me take this game off the air. But what we have decided is we've hit a significant stopping point in the game. The next, after this session is going to begin a new adventure, begin a new journey into the stars. And so, in order to kind of keep things clear and have some clarity to the rest of what's going on in the universe, we decided it might be a better idea to take a step back, kind of start new with a fresh adventure, fresh idea. So with that being said, I'm glad you all could be here. The final session. This is actually episode 46. You'll notice, those of you who have been watching a long time on YouTube, I have fixed the numbers. I went through, it took me 2 hours to fix all of the numbers on Olympus Rises because of that one mistake back in episode 5. But that's okay, we did it. So this is officially episode 46 of Olympus Rises, and I'm glad you all could be here with us. Next time you see us, it will be episode 1 of Arc number 2, Olympus Rises. I hope to see you all then as well. We've already done our intros. We've already said hello to everyone. We're going to skip that part, and we're going to jump right into it. Let's see if Devin is on his toes. Why don't we? Last time on Olympus...
Dun, 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 dun.
Everybody, congratulations. Devin was on his toes.
And then...
I don't know why I was expecting it. I said, Jordan's going to come straight in with it. I just have this feeling. And he did.
Of course he is.
That's because I am a level 1 master of segues. It's definitely level 1, for sure.
I would probably put you at level 1.5.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It was a good live edit.
Thank you. I also appreciate that. Did you notice there was literally like 5 seconds of downtime and then I just jumped right into it? It was great. Anyway, so the last time we all saw each other, sans Megan, we did what I was kind of hoping to be more of a montage, but we ended up role-playing a lot of the other things, which is not bad either, of course.
It wound up being a solid session.
But we did a lot of... We burned a lot of time that we normally would probably get a little bit more intricate with. We glassed over some things that perhaps we are more prone to kind of take a step into and learn a little bit more about. And during this, we found out a bunch of things about all the characters had significant development and growth, and we had ended at the point where everybody was kind of gathering together again to relive their experiences. And so I think that's actually an important point to perhaps jump right into it. After we do goals, of course. So, when we speak about goals, who believes they have completed some of their goals or have had them completed for them?
Speaking of which,
I can totally look at your character. Stand by.
Yeah, I don't think I have, but a quick check wouldn't hurt.
You have the one empty spot. Was that for delivering the cargo?
I think so.
Okay, so you have not added anything into that? I think I already gave experience for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you have one. The other 2 are not completed, although one of those will more than likely be completed this session for sure.
Okay. Or maybe the one was for fixing Bruno's rifle. I think that's the one that was empty.
Oh, was it? Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, because I think I dropped the delivery one for something else.
Dr. Phil. Nope, has not completed any of his. Go. What about you?
I have 2, and did I or would I get the 1,000 experience that y'all got last time?
I don't typically give session experience if people don't show up.
I know.
Typically.
You met out of session, though, in a big way.
That's a good point.
Extraordinary measures out of session were made to make that work.
I mean, how do you know they were so extraordinary?
Because you made a point of telling me that they were.
The correct answer would have been, well, it was an awesome session, even though she wasn't here. Sure, you can have the extra 1,000 experience.
It felt like she wasn't missing.
Correct.
It's just because Jordan plays Go-Go better than I do. It's fine.
It's because Jordan plays everybody better than they do.
You're not wrong.
I have heard that, actually. Which is why I don't...
has never had the occasion to play Oscar, so...
True. To be fair, it's actually one of the reasons why I don't elect to take other GM stats where, like, yeah, like, they're off giggling in a corner the whole session, because that's fucking dumb to me. I require some amount of cognitive, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
You gotta give me more to work with.
Like, I require everything to make sense.
Cohesion,
thank you.
Yeah.
I require cohesion in my games where characters aren't just off jerking off in the corner and have nothing to do that session. Unless there's a very good reason for them to be jerking off in the corner.
Specifically state that that's what they're going to spend the session doing.
Correct.
Devin.
That sounded directed.
Running around with no pants on, greeting people that join her.
Oh, true. That is what happened.
Fizz.
So, Megan, you actually completed both of these, yeah?
heck yeah.
And you've had that third one for how long now?
A long time. Like, since we got the missions. I mean, technically, one of them I didn't do, but I tried really hard to do myself. Like, the second half of the third one. But, whatever.
Oh, right. For some reason I was reading this wrong, and thought it was only the first one. I think I gave everybody experience for this. I forget what it was, but I want to say it was like, because everybody, like, Devin also had this one.
Had yeah. I just wasn't here when you gave people the...
I think I gave people 500 experience for that one.
Okay.
So go ahead and take 500. The transport, both jobs that you guys had. Like, everybody had that one, and I gave everybody, like, a flat rate on that.
Oh, yeah, I didn't actually add that to mine.
Yeah, so I think that's worth 500. And then get Fizz to teach me how to be the best pilot that there
Fizz
ever
Bay.
was.
And now is Bay and is Fizz.
Correct.
Because if Jordan didn't tell you and if you didn't specify, you two are doing the dirty.
That was specified.
That was specified. I am fully aware. I condone.
I would never
mainly because Jordan would end up dead.
Make a character, any character, no matter which character it was, willingly do that without the approval of their player. I would be worse than other GMs that we know. I would deem myself the worst GM in the world.
Well, I mean, she could have been like, well, I'd like to get involved in a relationship. And you're like, okay, you're going to have sex.
So, no. Are you ready? We had a diagram of what options led to what paths.
It's true. There's like a flow chart.
There was an entire flow chart and decision tree.
Fizz chart.
Yeah. That led to...
It started with a discussion with Fisher. And then what his response was would lead to various aspects.
Correct.
Oh, so Will did this.
Yes, correct. Yes,
100%.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
kind of funny.
So that second one, Oscar, I think I gave you like 250 experience for getting your level 3, so I think that's appropriate here as well. To get your level 3.
Good.
So
I mean, I know it wasn't like
it's just the time
super
spent.
difficult, but it was definitely time spent.
Yeah,
so
time spent. Yep, you get paid for time spent on that one. You may not have actually had that goal, to be honest with you.
I have that, but you haven't actually. We didn't resolve any goals last session, so I still have that on my sheet.
Hey, why don't you take 250 experience for completing that goal?
Yeah, I think I might.
I think
I was like, hey, man, I'm getting screwed here.
Yeah. No, go ahead and take that 250 that I said you took last time for that one. Also, Matt, I would like to talk to you about your first one because I think there have been steps made towards that, and I think you might deserve a little bit of experience for that.
I'm cool letting that hang as like a super long-term one, but if you want to give me experience, that's also fine.
So the one thing here that I think I'm going to start doing is stop having you guys have things that last for 20 plus sessions. For example, For example, Will is at wow. I'm gonna mute you just real quick, Devin. For example, Will's at 23 with his original goal. Which is pretty vague. So I think that what I would like to do is, if you want to keep it, just reset it to 0 after I give you experience.
Sure.
Does that sound good?
Okay. For
goodbye, Devin.
Goodbye forever, Devin.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so for the folks paying attention at home, that particular goal is to get Oha on my good side, essentially, in terms of the bigger picture.
Yeah, and for any curious as well, the trigger for this is her genuine concern earlier. It reflects her character being actually giving a shit nowadays, as opposed to
she's invested.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, if he dies, he dies. Whatever.
Yeah, Oscar is the definition of a project boyfriend, I think, and
she's working real hard.
She's yeah.
She's working real hard. I don't know how successful she's been, but she's working real hard. So I think that you can net a pretty solid 300 experience for that particular part to get to that next level, to acquire relationship goal number 1 with Oha.
First heart.
This is exactly. This is now dating simulator Olympus Rises, where like.
How many hearts do I have with Bay?
Well,
so like,
see,
how many?
You're on tier 2, right? Because you're not earning hearts anymore. Now you're earning like rings as you go up, right?
Right. The second tier, you're right.
So you were able to skip the first tier through significant action. So that being said,
see, because here we're not playing any. We're not doing the BioWare game thing. We're jumping into that penalizes you.
Right, yeah, because it totally does that in Mass Effect.
This is no Morrigan or Jack we're talking about here.
Yep, exactly. In fact, at work,
I have no time to waste.
I have a couple friends at work, and one of them's a huge BioWare fan, just like me. And when Andromeda was coming out, or like before it was coming out, I spun a bunch of ideas. And we both agreed that I am a better writer than BioWare if they don't use these ideas. And then, like, none of them were in the game. So, pretty much what I'm trying to say is, BioWare, you should hire me, because I'll be a better writer than anybody else on your team currently.
I'm sure they're listening.
They might be. Who knows? Crazier shit has happened, to be fair.
You're not wrong.
To be fair. Let me just do one more will check here. Hello?
I know, or else it's going to be a pretty small session.
It's going to be a pretty tiny session, but that's okay. It's actually the two of you who did the full montage scene that I would like to recount with a little bit anyway, because it was kind of a half and half. The two of you montaged, and then Will and Devin kind of did what they would normally do during transit, right? Like they did their normal researching and having these little interactions. So they kind of had like a session last time, but I feel like Matt, yours was kind of set in stone already, or not in stone, but set in drying cement already. And Megan, obviously you weren't here. So Megan, you've watched the replay, and I want to have you break down kind of step by step the process, how it went, and what parts were, important enough to review with the class, as it were.
I mean, to be fair, I think you did a really good job at conveying the main points that I hoped to convey, whether the crew picked up on certain ones or cared at all about certain ones or not. But
Give us some credit.
I mean, I think the big things are Go-Go seems to care about somebody or something again that's not Chan. Pretty important stuff. I think that she learned a whole lot about her quote unquote profession, and the fact that she doesn't know everything and natural talent is good, but then there's other things that you need to learn. And she learned some humility, I think, which is again not a word used to describe Go-Go like ever. So I think that's pretty important and pretty big. I think she has turned an interesting corner with her relationship with Chan, and has kind of learned more even about him in regards to his reactions and interactions with Fizz / who he now perceives as Go-Go's second in command, as it were,
right,
to him, in terms of he is now overseer number 2. And I think that that's also kind of impactful on Go-Go, because she had kind of broken him of a lot of those things, and then all of a sudden he's almost reverted, and that's kind of troublesome, and then had to explain such things to Fizz, which was also kind of an interesting discussion and did not in any way go the way that she thought it would have, especially when she started relaying his medical and her own medical anomalies.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
We'll go with that. And I think you mentioned, and I don't remember actually now, about his own mother.
Yes.
Yeah. So like then there's that kind of whole thing where he cares enough about his mama, and like that makes her so like I don't know. Anyway, so I think it was really emotional, and part of me wishes that I could have done it, but I think that you did a really good job. And I think that Go-Go's like a really different person now, to be honest. So she like went into it, I think, thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna learn a couple tricks.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn how to do loop-de-loops.
Yeah, right. Like basically, right. I'm gonna learn how to go real fast, even faster, right? But I think she actually freaking grew a whole lot in a 1 week. So yeah, is that enough? Is that enough of a recap?
Yeah, that seems great.
I need to. Okay.
That seems like a perfect recap, to be honest. Like that hits all the points I think that I made a point of. The one I made a point of, and I think that I kind of freeformed and didn't really go over, is Go-Go's difference in attitude with the crew as well now. Like, you're not as closed off. There's more, like, they just see you more.
Yeah, I'm not in my room as much. I'm not as rude, maybe. like I'm more open to
you're rude
what
with
other
a smile
people
now.
are. Yeah, I'm more outgoing, quote unquote, as Go-Go can be. But yeah, I think that she's not as jaded. Maybe she has a tiny bit of hope now. Maybe, who knows?
And her heart grew 2 sizes that day.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think that's great. That sounds amazing and beautiful, and an epic, and I can't wait to see where that goes. Matt, let's talk to you for a moment. Please give us a breakdown of your training, of which there were a lot of like important
Oscar's
points.
Trip to Hogwarts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, right? Is he finally found his niche, right? He found somebody or a group of somebodies that he could train with in the manner that he's been trying to develop this whole time. So I think the big thing is that he's kind of, I mean, time will tell, but he feels like he's come into his own now after getting to train with some people that are kind of oddballs as well in terms of their technique and ability and so forth. So
yeah, and what about some specific instances throughout that training stand out to Oscar besides the overall theme of like having some development and growth with your profession, quote unquote, or your technique and personal growth like that?
I think one of the bigger things is that he was invited back.
Right.
I think that more than anything, not directly related to the training, resonates with him, because up to this point, I think he's been definitely he's been effective, but not in the way that I think he probably envisioned his career with this crew going.
Right.
So Meat Shield is not a career to thumb one's nose at if it keeps everyone alive, but you know how it goes.
Yeah, and you met some interesting characters as well, right? Like,
yep. So one of which we will likely never see again.
Right, or perhaps see very soon, right? Like, there's two ways that could go, perhaps, or maybe she just got thrown off a cliff and died. Who knows?
You never know.
Either one of those could very well be true.
But yeah,
an eclectic group of individuals.
Yes. I think the biggest thing is that somebody out there, meaning the one who actually gave him his letter of, I suppose, re-invitation or letter of intent to have him come back and train at a later time. That means a lot to him, I think. Somebody else recognizes that there's potential there.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, cool.
And I think probably the message that he took from all of this is, to keep on with what he's been trying to do. I think he feels like he's inches away from finally developing this into like his own school.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was Fumi Sama, right? It was Suda Fumi was the
Suda, yeah,
individual.
Correct.
who used a katana specifically and has some interesting perhaps tricks of her own that she
some of which he's mulling over still. I think it's still bothering him how she was able to do what she was without him noticing that she had any sort of abilities beforehand like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's definitely some weirdness there, and it's also meant to kind of show a difference in power tier as you guys approach this mechanical
She's
level of
well over 9,000.
Yeah, as you approach this mechanical level of superiority that you guys have already kind of surpassed a little bit between your everyday mook, right? I wanted to express with that particular that for at least especially like the combat related characters, that you're still only like 3, like, right? You're still only like level 3. You're maybe the best in the sector, or one of the best in the sector, but there is the potential to go higher. And I want to make sure that
it's a big universe.
Yeah, I want to make sure that everybody's aware there's not a ceiling, right? Like there is definite worth in going higher and trying to achieve these goals that some of these unique individuals within the sector or galaxy have.
Yeah, that is Oscar's life mission. So we're gonna find the ceiling. He's either gonna die, or we're gonna find the ceiling,
or both simultaneously,
or both potentially at the same.
Yeah, exactly.
It may be the same event.
Yeah, exactly. It may be literally, I have found, the divine cause, but also now I am a husk.
Yep.
I would say that's also what started the Scream in the first place.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, basically.
Tiny bit worrisome.
Could be.
No. Just have a mini Scream. No big deal, right, Oscar?
Yeah, I mean, one way or another, I'm going to put a dent in this campaign you've put together with this character. And I don't know if that's going to be like a feral, like, teleporting murder hobo, or an NPC that we all have to deal with in the next arc. But
yeah, certainly. And I can definitely foresee all of the above options.
Potentially both, if we torch Oscar and he just goes AWOL.
Yeah, it seems like a reasonable plan of attack. Devin, I don't want to leave you out. I know you're driving, and I don't want to distract you too much while doing so. But you made some progress towards some of your profession stuff, which we haven't had a chance to go over specifics yet. I've gone over specifics with a couple of other players, but
yeah.
I'm sorry, but can you just imagine if there was a scenario where Devin got pulled over and had to explain, like, sir, why I pulled you over today? Is it because I was playing D&D in my car?
So you laugh, but I have been pulled over twice on the way to a D&D session and asked where I am headed, told them the truth, and they've been like, you know what? GMs can't be late. And they wave me on. Twice that has happened. Twice.
I call bullshit.
You can ask Devin, because he was present on Skype when I arrived.
I sure was.
Yeah, that is a real thing that happened twice.
At least one of them I know is for certain happened.
Right. Yeah, maybe you missed the second one, but yeah, it was definite twice.
All right, I accept that.
Yeah.
Pardon the interruption.
Yeah. So there you go.
No problem.
But yeah, so we haven't had a chance to talk specifics, but your kind of your goal here is to both have a profession that can make you some money, because money is nice, but also be able to have the most badass gun in the galaxy.
Yeah, definitely. And while we're here on this topic, I need like 5 minutes because I have to refuel my car.
Perfect. Go ahead and go refuel your car.
Yeah, I'll be back.
So how about we just spend like 5 minutes speculating what Devin's gonna do with this?
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I hear a dog.
Puppy
time.
I muted Devin so that when his dog begins barking, it won't blow out everybody's eardrums.
No, I definitely hear tags. Oh, he's whimpering.
Yeah, that's why I'm muted, because he is a baby. He is the biggest baby I have ever witnessed in my entire life. And Devin will attest to that when he arrives back at his vehicle. Anywho. So, yeah, becoming an armorer is Devin's goal, and we talked a lot about being able to modify weapons beyond their current capabilities. As opposed to, like, creating new weapons, which I think is super cool. I think that's a good, awesome take on something that can be different from the typical tech skills. That being said, some things that Devin can proceed down depending on what he wants to do. I see an end goal maybe being like a Batman gun, where he can do really cool things like snipe a grappling hook 1,500 meters away and then, you know, scale down it, or, you know, slide down it on the zip line. That seems super cool to me. Or being able to have like different types of munitions, because we already know that, like, in the good old days, he already owned some even different types of munitions for long rifles, right? He's got like incendiary rounds and cryo rounds and all these other cool, it's incendiary, concussive, and explosive. Those are the three that he has. And with that being said, he could. I'm echoing that again. That being said, maybe he can make it.
You're gonna have to just shut him down.
Yeah,
just shut him down.
Maybe he could go into something like being able to swap between those without having to like reload every time, right? Which takes, you know, the full turn or the full action to do. Maybe he can just like flick a switch, just like going from semi to auto, and it just swaps the rounds that are coming in. Stuff that takes it beyond the normal capabilities, but, and as I've said to both you, Megan, and Matt, the big point is not to make other skills obsolete, right? It's to build off of the other skills, not make them useless.
Modify existing investment.
Right, exactly. Which I think I don't know if you've shared yours, Megan, but I think we have a really good path there that I really like a lot. That fits with not only the character concept, but also like literally the mechanics of the character because of the class that you are, even. So
yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, I think that'll be great and be really versatile in the future. And still not make other skills useless, right? Like,
right, and still have the potential for error. Like, it's not some OP skill that all of a sudden just trumps doing anything else, right. But it's there.
Yeah, there's a risk. Useful. There's risks associated with that.
Yeah.
So, and Dr. Fisher has actually, or will, mentioned to me what he's thinking about, which I will allow him to share when he feels fit. And I definitely think there's going to be some cool things there too. So the profession thing is going to go great. But now that we've officially wasted an hour and Will hasn't arrived yet,
I think we have a Will-free session.